got to feel in heaven when my lover's near. Lord, let this moment last for another year. Though today has ended, the night's still young, I'd say. Lover, don't go away. Let it be the thing that I am longing for. Let's fly out from Manhattan to the California shore, just to watch the ships at night on the San Francisco Bay. Oh, lover, please, please stay. Don't say you have to go. Don't say you need to run. I'll stop the clock on Central Station and we can have a drink downtown. Let it be the night that I am longing for. Let's fly down south to Austin or to Ecuador, just to drink pina colada on a hot, wet summer's day. Oh, lover, please, please stay.
Welcome everybody to the Stir Crazy Sang Cassette. I'm the Divine Danny D.
I am Elle Diabloe.
And it's Marvellous Mushrooms Day.
Marvellous mushrooms, fantastic
Marvellous.
fungus.
Oh, it's so fun, guys.
That's us, the fun guys.
Ah, so fun.
Guys.
Yes, I'm so excited. Today is a mushroom day, which is my favorite thing to eat in the whole wide world. Probably more than anything. Well, I didn't notice they had mushroom earrings.
Yeah, mushroom earrings.
No, mushroom earrings. That's cute. Where did you get the mushroom earrings?
I got the mushroom earrings from Booty Jones.
Oh.
I think they were selling them at Kitchen Swell in Montreal.
Oh, hello,
Hi,
Nomi.
Poor Nomi's in the dark.
Nomi's in the dark.
Maybe we should give Nomi
often in the dark.
No, I just feel bad. She's like literally sitting in the dark.
Oh, she'll come here eventually. Don't worry.
All right.
Yes, for those of you who... sorry, what was that? Did you have something to comment on that? I don't think so. Yeah, no, this is going to be a fun day. The food...
Just keep going.
The food that we're going to do today, I'm so excited for because we tested it the other day. And it's so delicious.
It is very delicious. If I do say so myself.
So good. And the cocktails that we're doing are really interesting.
They're so interesting. And like, I haven't had the full cocktail. I've had elements of the like the elements that you've made or pre-prepared.
Pre-prepared.
They're all delicious.
So there's a lot of prepping for cocktails. There's a lot of infusing.
Yes.
But it's all mushrooms all day, with a couple of exceptions where we didn't have mushrooms.
Sure.
Yeah. That'll make sense in a bit.
Okay, cool.
For those of you who don't know who we are based in the beautiful La Belle, Quebec, Canada.
Why?
And thanks to daylight savings time, we're finally starting with it dark out.
Yes.
So we have great reflections of our lights. So you can see now our lights.
Yes, you can see our lights.
You can see us.
I don't know if you can see our neighbors' little Christmas lights up in the back. They've been starting putting up the lights.
So much. You keep moving that.
I'm sorry. I know.
It's there for a specific. Nomi.
I can't see
her.
Nomi,
that's why
I'd love for us to turn a light on in there. So.
Come here. Here she comes.
Oh, here she comes. Just
hello.
Good day.
Come here, Nomi. Okay, goodbye. See ya. That was Nomi. She's back. She's back. Here, come see these people. Come see the people. Hello.
Hi, Nomi.
It's Nomi. She's getting so big. Like, remember I picked her up the first time and she was just like...
Teensy tiny. Ow, don't eat Mama's fingers.
But she is back. For those who haven't met Nomi, this is Nomi Malone.
Nomi Malone.
Say
hi to the people.
Hello, people.
Hello, people.
Hello, people. Ah, there we are.
She's huge. She is huge.
She's enormous right now.
But she's only half the size she's going to be. So.
Yeah, so she's going to get bigger. Eventually, she'll just be able to stand up here and talk to you. She'll actually have a whole segment where she'll make dog food.
She'll make dog food. Come here, Blueberry. Come here, Blueberry.
Yeah, no, it's this is going to be fun. So again, where was I? We are based in Labelle, Quebec, Canada, just north of Montreal. In the mountains, it's beautiful up here.
It is indeed.
This time of year, it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's funny because I'm a big fan of the fall, but I think there's a point where just after the leaves have fallen, so it's all started to turn sort of cold blue and gray.
Yeah.
And it's so pretty up here.
Well, it's funny.
Lots of birch trees, so it looks really creepy at places.
I was noticing the other day, like, because I drive back and forth, I do the drive into the city a lot, and a month ago coming back, it was that multi-layered color, you know, as the sun was starting to set. Shush your face. Now it's that like multi-tiered, like you just said, the grays and blues. So the mountains are like dark, and then it's like lighter blue, lighter blue.
The lichen is not as green, but it's that gorgeous sort of gray, ashy blue. Yeah. It's lovely.
Very nice.
No, it's gorgeous up here.
You want to do a dance?
You're going to see some of it at the end when I've got some footage that's really nice of coming out of our backyard.
We're doing a conga line.
But next week I've got a thing I'm going to go shoot because I think it'll be really pretty for the end of next week. It's going to be gorgeous.
Cool beans. Are
we doing conga? Sorry. Ba 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 ba. Ba da 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 da. Hey. Da 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 da. Hey. Da da da. That was weird.
She doesn't. She's up. She's like in my bouteille.
Yeah. So in the land before the COVIDs, before the quarantining, we were live stage performers in the world of burlesque. Not you. You had no experience.
You didn't exist. You weren't even alive.
And I was a comedian. I was a host. I was a producer.
A general man about town.
A general man about town. I was often about the town.
All about
I'm all about the town. And you?
I was also
hey.
A burlesque host and producer and choreographer and burlesque dancer, and now I make and eat food all the time.
Why must you comment on our lives? I think that's sort of you just dissing us.
She's not.
She's writing diss tracks.
She just wants more blueberries. Okay, you be quiet.
Go pay off the dog.
I'm going to pay off the dog so she could be quiet for the next hour.
Oh, it's gonna be good. And so when all of this hit, we decided we wanted to still perform. We learned how to broadcast a show, which I was just sort of standing out there, having a little sip of a drink earlier, and I was like, it is a movie. It's a TV studio in here.
There's quite a few.
Every
cameras.
month.
I mean, now you can sort of see some of them in them.
But it's a whole thing, and and we started doing this. Two of our other favorite things, which is cooking and getting incredibly drunk.
Yes.
Which again, this show is always fun. I don't know if it's better to watch the beginning of the show or the end of the show.
I think you can walk away for a minute or two in the middle and come back and play the game of how much have they had to drink now.
Depends how annoyed we get at each other. That's a fun game.
Is it? For who?
Well, for Deanne.
This is true.
No, but today I'm so excited. It's all mushrooms. So the whole thing today is vegetarian, right?
Yeah.
It's not vegan.
It is not vegan because
but it is vegetarian.
I can do vegetarian. Vegan is hard for me because no eggs and no cheese, and that makes me sad.
Yeah, no milk.
No milk. Well, I don't do milk as a general rule.
But again, if you're doing any baking, baking.
Well, I'm just moving these because she's getting tall. Sorry, if you're also just tuning in for the first or second time, we got our puppy 2 months ago tomorrow.
Yeah, she'll be.
She'll be with us.
4 months. She'll be 4 months old.
She will have been in our house for
2 months. So she's
tomorrow.
4 months old.
Yeah. Yes.
So she was 2 months when we got her. I was just doing by the transit of properties.
Oh, I was just thinking about
when
her actual birthday is. But
I don't know. What is your birthday? You go away and write a wish list, and I will. Anyways, no. So today I'm very excited because it's going to be some really cool stuff. What are you making? Because I tell these people I should put a picture up on our Instagram. Oh, you haven't checked our Instagram, you can see what we're gonna make.
Yes.
But tell the people, describe this piece of wonderful.
Oh, well, I mean, I love mushrooms as well. They're one of my favorite things to cook with. Some of you have had my mushroom soup, but I didn't want to do that on the show tonight. So I found this beautiful wild mushroom galette that we're going to be making tonight. And I always laugh because those of you who are longtime viewers know that me and pie crust and dough, we're not always the best of friends, but I keep doing it because
That's how you learn.
That's how you learn. And I'm trying to get good now that I'm like 20 something years old with not getting everything right all the time and understanding that sometimes it's not going to work, and that's okay. But this,
You made it the other day.
I made it on the weekend.
Absolutely incredible.
It was splendiferous. So we're going to make that tonight. And what cocktails are you making?
What am I? I'm very excited because we're making a couple of things. There is no such thing as a mushroom spirit, or at least there isn't one that I could find. Like there is almost anything they can make alcohol. For some reason, they've never made alcohol from mushrooms. Don't know why. Maybe it's something in the chemical makeup of the mushroom. However, because mushrooms, and this is one of the things I learned doing all of this stuff, is one of the only things in the world that has the natural fifth flavor attached to it, which is the umami. It infuses incredibly well and brings out really incredible flavors. So what I thought we would do is we're going to make a mushroom Manhattan.
Oh, cool.
So I'm going to take a basic Manhattan. We're actually going to compare them. I'm going to create a basic Manhattan. And then I'm going to take a Manhattan that I've taken the bourbon. I like a bourbon Manhattan. Some people like a rye Manhattan. I've taken the bourbon and I've taken dry shiitake mushrooms, let it soak and infuse in that for a couple of days. And so we have a shiitake bourbon that we're going to make a mushroom Manhattan with.
Nice.
And then the other one was a cocktail I found called the Atlas Shrubbed, first of all.
Oh, great name.
Great name.
Yay, Ayn Rand.
Really?
I mean,
you and I may have to differ on that one. But
entertaining reading.
Really? Okay. But this cocktail, and I was meant to look it up, and I can't remember who the people are. I'll try and figure it out later before we get to it. But it is a chanterelle infused gin cocktail. Not only that, but it also has a mushroom blueberry shrub that goes with it. It's a lot of levels, a lot of umami with sweet, with tart. Like it's basically every possible taste sensation you could have in one cocktail.
Awesome.
It's incredible. It looks beautiful. So we're making that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Groovy.
Shall we say hi to the people?
Yeah, can I just switch
please.
the camera for 1 second?
To what?
To there? To the
you're going to say hi to the
I'm
people?
just going to suggest that this and this do that.
All right, sure. Cool. No problem.
Awesome.
All right. Hi.
People, look.
Look.
I got mushroom earrings. I got mushroom earrings.
We've just heated up the oven to
400 degrees.
400 degrees. The oven is preheating to 400 degrees. Who do we have out here? We have, of course, Misty Portugal is here.
Hello, Misty Portugal.
She cannot wait for the mushroom extravaganza.
Oh, thank you.
It's marvelous.
Which is, my earrings are cute.
And, of course, my mom is here. That's lovely.
Mama.
There we are. Donata is saying aloha, so
Aloha.
I'm assuming she's somewhere tropical.
There's really only one place.
Speaking of tropical, Ruby Rose is saying hello from Barbados.
Ooh.
Hello.
Nice.
Well,
like I'm hoping that this is siesta time where you're like in your room, like taking a little nap ski and having a cocktail before you go out.
I hope you're in a meeting right now.
No, I mean like instead of being on the beach, like this is normally like the time to have like a nice cocktail and like refresh in the room.
Oh, of course.
You know.
Unless
you're watching us on the beach, and that's freaking cool.
Misty says, I don't even know what a galette is, but that looked delish. And your earrings, of course, cute. Oh, everybody's so lovely today.
Everybody is lovely. Hi, lovely people.
I also want to mention to people who just showed up or who haven't been here before that if you're watching currently on the Divine Danny D's page or our Twitter page, which are a couple of different places you can watch this, you're not getting the full experience. If you want to chat with us, a lot of times when people go watch the Divine Danny D's page on Facebook and they'll make comments and we can't see them because our chat tool only pulls from certain things. So if you want us to see your chats, you want to see your comments, you want to talk to us, make sure you're either on the excuse me, the YouTube page at youtube.com/StirCrazyShow, or on our Twitch channel at twitch.tv/StirCrazyShow.
Hi, Twitch.
Both of those are great. Twitch is always fun to play around with. Hopefully some of these guys will show up a little bit later. Yeah. They often do.
I did threaten to eat actual magic mushrooms on the show tonight.
You did?
I did do that, so we'll see if anyone comes back and holds me to that.
Yes. We won't be doing that, by the way.
Because it holds me, not you. I didn't mean to implicate you.
Well, it's okay. Sometimes it happens that I get implicated.
I understand. But you are your own man.
I am. Often. Shall we come back?
We shall.
Let's see that. Oh, also, while we're here, just take a check in and see what he's doing.
Ooh.
Oh, it's Mr. Oh, there's us. Hi, it's us. That's what we're doing. That's not what I meant. Let's check in with Mr. Ling. Mr. Ling is with Creepy Dollhead. What are you doing there with Creepy Dollhead, Mr. Ling?
Do you know my biggest regret from the Halloween season is that when I saw that Creepy Dollhead at the dollar store, I didn't buy every single last one that they had. I love it so much.
Creepy Dollhead. I think Creepy Dollhead made the basil die. Killed our basil with its appearance. Oh, well, there we are.
No, I wanted to make a crown of creepy baby heads.
Oh, crown of creepy baby heads. I believe that is my nickname in high school. Oh. The crown of creepy baby heads. Good. 90s new metal. 90s new metal band.
Oh, and if anybody's wondering why I'm wearing the Bowie sweatshirt, it's because it matched the earrings. Because Bowie's a little trippy, shroomies are a little trippy.
And I'm wearing, because people have commented so much that we should have aprons, and I want to prove them we have aprons. So I'm wearing the Stir Crazy red apron.
We actually have two different colors. I just don't know. When we packed up our life and moved it up north about 6 months ago, I don't know where we packed some of our... Still don't know where some of our stuff is, but we'll find it.
It's around. We'll find it.
Still missing 2 giant costume making
penises.
Rubbermaids. No, this is not the universal symbol for penis.
Well, it's a box you would put a penis in.
Yes, that's totally what I'm missing. My 2 big penis boxes.
Yeah. Also, the beard. For those of you who weren't here last week, I'm doing Movember.
Okay.
I don't know what that means, other than I'm not shaving. Well, I'm shaving. I'm trimming, but I'm growing the full beard. Okay. So we're gonna do the.
Are you raising money for prostate cancer while you do it, or you just mow facial hair?
I will raise some money.
Okay.
So.
For every hair you grow.
Yeah, so if you want to donate money for Movember, every time you donate money, I will talk about my beard some more.
We'll figure this out.
Yeah, we're going to figure it out. But we're trying to find a way to do it, but we're going to raise some money for Movember and men's prostates, or lack thereof. I don't remember what it is. And it's weird to have a beard again. I haven't had the full beard for a long time, and I've trimmed it up now so that it actually is sort of beardy.
It's beardical.
It is beardy. My beard grows in a little light at first, and then all of a sudden it goes like that. So it's like
I'm looking forward
a werewolf overnight.
We shall see.
Excellent. You look beautiful.
Thank you. You look handsome. Let's make a
cocktail. Do you want to try some Manhattans?
I do.
Let's try some Manhattan. So what we're going to start off with, first of all, is a basic Manhattan. So before you push that, I'm just going to start off with a basic Manhattan. Okay. Now, basic Manhattan is essentially the whiskey lover's answer to the martini.
Okay.
So in it, we have a martini, which is, of course, gin, dry vermouth, and some, depending on how you like, that's generally the 2 things, but then sometimes people put in olive juice or what have you like that. For Manhattan, same kind of thing. We're doing a whiskey, generally rye or a bourbon. We're doing a bourbon. What I've done is I'm taking some basic Jim Beam, which is what we made this out of. So we're going to take the same whiskey, compare the 2. So our whiskey will be bourbon this time. We take a sweet vermouth. And generally that's it. A little bit of bitters. I'm going to use a little bit of orange bitters just to brighten it up a little bit. Mm-hmm. So if you can pull up the recipe, that's for the mushroom.
That's for the mushroom?
That is for the mushroom, but that's fine. We're going to use the same exact basic campaign. So it's 2 ounces of our bourbon. So this is the basic Manhattan, that's the word. I've never heard of that city before. We're going to take an ounce of sweet vermouth. Now,
the border is open. We could go to that. We could drive to that city.
We could. An ounce of sweet vermouth. Again, unlike a martini, the sweet vermouth is a little bit more predominant than you would use the dry vermouth in and a martini.
Cool. I'm just going to check one thing. You explain your drink to the people.
And we are just going to just add a dash of orange bitters to that. Okay, can you grab me my ice cubes?
Yes.
That'd be great.
I can.
Thank you very much. This is a classic drink, and with a drink like this, you're going to want a coupe of some sort. We're using these beautiful Montreal coupes. Thank you very much. So you want to cool that down, so just put a couple of ice cubes in there. Now this is, that's for you too, Nomi. This is a stirred drink, which means you, with a stirred drink, you want to put a lot of ice in that in order to get it cooled quickly. So we have that in place, and we are just going to stir.
I'm coming to stir.
Come to a stir dance, stir dance, stir dance, stir dance. We're doing all stirred drinks today, so you're going to have a lot of that going on.
A couple of different stir dances today. Oh, hi, Nomi. Hi, Nomi. Do the dance. Go around. Go around. Go around. No?
Generally, when you're stirring, you want to go 20 to 30 seconds. That's good. And we're just going to let that go now. All right, and lastly, I'm going to take...
I was hoping you'd keep that ice cube in the kitchen, puppy dog.
Well, why would you do that? That would be...
Wouldn't result with wet floors all the way throughout our house. So.
All right, now with this, we're going to do just generally 2 garnishes that are quite common. We're going to start off with a nice little twist of orange. There we go.
Nomi knows the stir dance. We're teaching around right now. We're teaching her how to go around in circles. So eventually.
And there we have that. And often we will just, with a traditional Manhattan, we will always put in
a cerise.
A cerise.
Cerise.
That's perfect. And so this is a traditional Manhattan. We'll give that a shot. Tell me what you think about that.
Oh, lovely.
It's beautiful.
This, by the way, this coupe is beautiful. It's also the reason why I often don't drink cocktails unless I am sitting down.
No.
Because I spill most of them.
That's a gorgeous drink. It's one of the perfect cocktails. It's this beautiful balance of very a strong alcohol, a little sweet with a little brightness from the orange. It's beautiful. So now we're going to make the mushroom version.
Cool beans.
So we're going to just quickly dump out our mixing glass. And we're going to go through it all again. This time, we're going to be using our shiitake mushroom bourbon.
Now, could you, in case people have just tuned in and they don't know what a shiitake mushroom bourbon is, can you explain?
So what I've done, what I did in this is I basically took about half a liter or half of this bottle of bourbon. I took a good cup of dry shiitake, whole dry shiitakes. I put them in. I did that on Friday, and I took them out today. So I let them sit for a good long time. When I took them out, I made sure I filtered them through a couple times just to get any of the sediment, because with any mushrooms, you're going to always have lots of sediment. So try to get as much of that out, and we get this beautiful, beautiful booze. It also smells. You're going to notice a much earthier smell to it.
It smells forestier.
Forestier is a very good way of describing it.
If you speak French.
So, same proportions, 2 ounces of our, this case, shiitake mushroom. And I use dry shiitake mushrooms. That was important. You don't want to let it soak in fresh because you're not really going to get a lot. The dry is really going to impart a lot of flavor. And dry shiitakes you can get very, very cheap, especially if you go to Chinatown, something like that. An ounce of our sweet vermouth. And, of course, we are going to, there we go. We're going to brighten that up a little bit with our orange bitter. And we're going to take our second glass. We're going to put ice cubes in there, cool down the glass, and one more time, a whole bunch of ice cubes into here.
I'm warming up.
And are you ready? Are you ready?
New stirring dance.
And there we go. So I'm going to let that go around.
How about this side?
Nice, nice. I love it. I'm very excited. I'll hit a button next time that we can push music for when we do the stirring or the shaking. We never thought of that. I don't know why we've never thought of that.
Because I dance to the music of
the music of the drink. The music of the drink. Just like Gloria Estefan.
Yes. Do you need this, sir?
No, I do not need that anymore. Right. Thank you very much.
I actually do need some of this, so I'm going to just, pardon me for one moment.
All right, so there we have that. We're going to one more time dump off. Let me just put that. Take those out of there.
Yeah, I'll take those.
Boom, boom, boom.
Waste not, want not.
And we're just going to pour that into our coupe. Now, this one, we're going to garnish a little bit differently. First of all, we are going to take that orange one more time. Take a nice swath of, take a nice swath of our orange. Do a little twist on that. Just go, shoop, shoop. Put that in there. And instead of the cherry this time, what we're going to do.
Oh, really?
We're going to take a nice little, see if we can find a piece. Oh, that's a nice piece of mushroom right there. And we're going to take that, and we're just going to do a nice, there we are. So this is actually the mushroom that it infused in. So we're going to take that, I'm just going to put that in there.
Hi, puppy dog.
And there we have, can you go overhead on that for
Yeah, for sure. Hi, Nomi.
So
Nomi
there we
likes it
have the
too.
difference between the traditional, sorry, I'm going to pull that over a little bit. There we are. So there's the traditional Manhattan here. And this is the mushroom Manhattan there.
They're almost the same color. That is more
a little cloudy.
Earthier.
Yeah, you're going to have that. Mm-hmm. So one more time, just to refresh your memory.
Okay, taste bud refresher.
Yeah. That is the traditional Manhattan.
Traditional Manhattan. Very tasty. I like it.
And this is the mushroom Manhattan.
Wow.
Mmm.
Wow.
Wow, big difference.
Yeah.
There's so much.
Obviously, if you're not a mushroom fan, I don't know that I would recommend this because it's got
that umami, so much of that.
It's got such complexity in the flavors.
Yeah. It's one of the things I noticed in looking up drinks that require mushrooms, that really, a lot of people really rethought how you think about a cocktail, because adding this really distinctly umami thing. It's not like a savory, it's not salty. It's this really distinct.
Umami.
Which spirits go with it properly? How did they go through it? But this I love. I think this is good. The brightness of the orange really helps.
Delicious. I'm sorry, I'm just checking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's really good. If you ever get a chance, just try this out. And again, I just picked up some Jim Beam. I didn't want to go crazy. I want to find something really basic that anybody could get literally anywhere. It's a basic Kentucky bourbon.
But let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
Do you find, like, if you're going to...
Which one do you want to keep?
I'm not bothered. We can keep trading off.
Okay, we'll keep trading off then. I really like that, though.
I really like this very much. When you're infusing stuff, because we've now done fat washed booze, we've done a bacon wash, you've done all sorts of infused spirits. Is it, like you said, you wanted to get something that's easily accessible? Is it also arguably a waste of like high quality booze?
It's not at all, because again, if you take any spirit, like I love.
Pardon me.
Go ahead. Jim Beam is a great basic bourbon, but it doesn't taste the same as, say, the Maker's Mark that I usually drink, or Basil Hayden, or a variety of. They all have their own unique flavors. So I find when you're infusing, it's not about trying to let that flavor take over. It's adding that flavor to the thing you like. So certain bourbons like this, I think, really would go with a chocolatey bourbon, something that's really rich. So I think Jim Beam is really perfect for that. But something really citrusy and bright might not complement it as well.
Why are you being so...
The aroma on it too.
It's
really incredible.
But it smells like the forest. There's
does.
something very cool about it. Hi.
So there we are. That is the Mushroom Manhattan. I put up the recipe one more time for you guys so you can see what we did.
Stop being so
Very
nauseous.
simple.
Don't eat me.
Hi. There we have it. Mushroom Manhattan. I'm very excited for this one. Are you ready? Do you want to ask everybody a question?
Let's do it.
Let's go to our first question. You know what we didn't do at all last week? We didn't ask any questions last week. We forgot completely ask questions.
I know you want treats, but they're not all the time.
She just gave you side-eye, man.
She did. She gave me full
It's one
side-eye.
of those, full side-eye. What is going on there? Hey.
Just got sassed by my dog.
It is.
Hi, Nom.
Our first question. Our first question for tonight is: what is the best mushroom dish? You could have one mushroom dish, and I would say that this galette you're about to make really is up there very high. But I will always go with a stuffed mushroom caps with the garlic and the
Parm.
It's probably my favorite way to have it.
Stop eating me. Stop. I like this sweatshirt. Please don't do that. I would have to say, because again, if you're just tuning in, we're both massive mushroom fans. So this is.
I'm just putting this stuff back.
Yeah, answering questions is always hard for me to make a decision.
Oh, I know.
But when we were in Thailand, and I think I've actually discussed this on the show before, we went to Thailand on our honeymoon last year, just before the pandemic, and we stayed at this incredible hotel. And every morning we got breakfast, and breakfast you could order from an app, and then it would just turn up at your door of your little villa. It was spectacular, and they had this toast.
Oh, I forgot totally about that.
Oh my God, I think about this like at least once a week. I think about this, and it's like almost 2 years later. It was this amazing multigrain bread, and they did this truffle mushroom like reduction cream situation, and they put it on the toast, and then they put a poached egg on top, and it was
incredible.
Heaven.
Absolutely incredible.
Because something about, actually, it's funny because when we made the galette the other day, we didn't eat the whole thing, so we reheated some for breakfast with a fried egg. There's something about egg yolk
and mushrooms.
Mushroom
omelet is still one of my another.
But also like the omelet has more of that like scrambled egg feeling. I don't know. There's something about like a yellow egg yolk over like something with mushrooms.
But I also like a French style, very creamy omelet, so I think it really still works. Shall we see what the people like?
But of course.
Let's see what the people like. Hey people, what do you like? In this angle, the colors look way different. Only Misty says she likes a mushroom risotto.
Oh, I like a mushroom
risotto. Mushroom risotto is...
I kind of like anything risotto. I was really surprised when I
kind of like anything mushroom.
Yeah, also true.
Like a mushroom pie. Like what you're making is the galette, but I've had a mushroom pie before, like a chicken pot pie, the mushroom pot pie.
Your mom's also a risotto fan. I was looking up vegetarian recipes for the kitchen the other day, and somebody made a mushroom Wellington. That intrigues me. It's very similar to what I'm doing tonight, but like it's like the difference between a taco and a quesadilla. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's just same ingredients.
Portobello burgers, I also love. That's always a delicious.
I find that a misnomer though, because a portobello burger is really just a grilled portobello between two slices of bread.
Yeah, but it still makes it a burger. The burger, putting it between two slices of bread, makes it a burger.
Oh, Ruby Rose is with you on the stuffed mushrooms?
Stuffed mushrooms, yeah. Boom, boom, boom. That's always good. I also like, there's the, when we go to, what's the Italian place we get lasagna from?
Oh, Cassareccia.
Cassareccia, they do the marinated mushrooms. I really love those. Just.
I almost, can we just, is there any way to not affect our lighting, but to give her a little bit of a light in there? Because I feel like she's in the dark. And also, if she's eating the couch, I can't see her.
She's not eating the couch, she's eating her butt.
I also, and not everybody likes veal. I understand that people think I'm a cruel person because I'm such a veal fan. But I make a mean veal with mushroom sauce. It's so good. It's really, really good.
It's really, really good.
Homemade mushroom soup.
Really good.
Oh, hi.
What do you like? What kind of mushrooms do you like?
She likes the ones that grow, in my eye, in our backyard, right? No.
Yes. We actually got a lot of mushrooms that grow up here.
Yeah. I'm actually in my current Amazon card, I have a mushroom identification book. I'm still afraid though, because I kind of think even with a book, I'm still going to end up dead.
It's funny because I have a book identifying mushroom.
Oh, is he? That's smart.
It's a librarian of mushrooms. We're going back over here.
Oh, wait.
All right.
You are so needy right
So
now.
shall we make some food?
I'm going to in 1 second. I'm going to kiss my dog. Mwah, give me kisses. I gotta go now. Bye.
Okay.
Gotta wash my hands.
You wash your hands. We're gonna have more things coming up. We got, like I say, what I love about doing this is you have these mushrooms that we use for garnish, but they can be used for a variety of things. Some bourbon soaked mushrooms in an omelet. That's an excellent little thing.
Here, bear with me one moment.
No,
I'm talking to the people about your bourbon mushrooms.
Bourbon mushrooms, man. I'm very excited for the next one. I'm really excited for the next cocktail because it's one I haven't tried. Like I basically tried all of the booze as I was infusing it, so I kind of really had a very clear idea what the Manhattan was going to taste like.
Mm-hmm. Pardon me, I just need two more small things. Yes, keep going.
It's Mom's bowl. Yeah.
It is Mom's. You know what? Once we used it last week, I was like, "That's it. We're just using it."
Using this. I think it's great. I think. Did you do like bowls and stuff? Do you do that on for what you do?
Pardon me?
Like bowls, like could we do like a branded stir crazy bowl?
Oh, I could probably. Well, if not, I can do it with my own machine here.
It's true, we do it with our
I could
machine.
definitely do. Hi, bowl.
Hi, bowl.
Hi, Noms.
That's Nomi. She said hi to the bowl, not Nomi. You are just very hyper today.
You're very hyper. Also, I can feel. Sorry, friends, but I like to talk about my doggy all the time. She's getting stronger.
Oh yeah.
She just pushed me and she nearly knocked me over.
Hey, Nomi.
You gotta be quiet. There's a show going on, dude. Yeah. Could you bring up the recipe for this crust, please?
Bringing up the recipe for the dough.
Because I know the dough.
Here is the dough recipe.
I know. I forgot. Tablespoon of sugar and a teaspoon of salt.
You want sugar?
Tablespoon of sugar, yes, please. And 1 teaspoon of salt.
Well, I can get all this stuff.
Well, the salt I have right here.
All right.
We're into our flour, my friends. We are putting in 1 tablespoon of sugar. And
So all your dries together.
All the dries together. And a teaspoon of salt.
So this is just a basic pie dough.
Pretty much. It's essentially that. Now, I'm just going to ask you to talk to the people for one quick second. Sorry, people.
This is all-purpose. This is also not sifted, right?
It is not sifted.
We don't sift it. It's not like
sifted.
So that is that.
That is that. Sorry, I'm coming.
No. By all means, I'm here to kill time. What, are you having a vape now?
Let's do it from on the back. All right. So we've got in our fudge.
In our fudge.
In our flour.
In our fudge flour.
No.
I really like that. It's really a delicious drink.
Okay. In our flour, I have sugar, salt, and in here I have some fresh herbs. I have some chives. I have some thyme. The recipe called for flat leaf parsley, but guess what? We don't got none. So I'm just gonna use my little pastry cutter here, and I'm just gonna give that the equivalent of a whisk. I could have used a whisk. I'm just kind of mixing this all in. I want to make sure that not all the sugar and salt is sitting right on top of the flour. You want to get that evenly distributed. I'm doing the same thing with my herbs. We don't want them all in one big clump. All right. So, le voila. Easy, easy, easy. In here, I have some cubed, very cold, unsalted butter. So I'm going to start cutting this butter in. There's about 170 grams or 12 tablespoons of cold butter there. You want the butter to stay cold because chemistry. I wish I could explain it to you more than that, but
well, you don't want to, because it's going to cut in properly, and the fat is not going to dissolve, which will
make it like a paste.
Exactly. You want it to turn into like pea-shaped
little crumbles, but but I don't really I don't know enough about the science of cooking. If someone wants to finance my culinary.
The reason I know this one, and because I was doing it for another, it's because when you cook it, right, the whole idea is that then it melts, it'll combine the two, it'll turn into a crispier crust, where if it's already melted, you get more of a light buttery flavor of something.
Gotcha. Oops, I understand.
Do you want me to do that? I know your shoulder's bugging you. Let me do some cutting.
My shoulder is bugging me.
Let me do your cut. I'll cut the.
You are the best.
I'll cut the butter.
Cut my butter.
I cut the cheese too.
I know. Well, we know you're very good at that. Let's see
Hey,
if you're
that's a fart joke. Ha 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 ha.
cutting butter. Rough.
I'm gonna go overhead so people can see what's
Sure,
going on
I'm going to
here.
go overhead here, and I'm just going to check. You keep cutting.
So we're cutting in
Look
here.
at you with your big muscle man arms and your lumberjack shirt.
Oh yeah, this is a good look. You like this look?
I like it.
I always remember when we did the show where I was dressed as a cowboy, and that seemed to be a thing for you. You got all lady.
I got lady bits.
Lady damp.
My lady dampness.
You got a little lady damp because I was dressed as a cowboy.
I never know. It's just sometimes you put stuff on and I go, yep, this works for me. Yep, dig it.
Oh, it's good I have an apron on.
It is. Is our dog barking at its tail? She barking at her
The
tail?
dog was having an argument with her tail.
Oh my God. Yesterday I came home, I was in Montreal for a day and a half, so by the time I came home she was like super excited to see me. She got so excited, I don't know if you saw this, I think you were downstairs. She hit herself in the face with the tail and nearly knocked herself over. I died. It was the funniest thing.
The one she did the other day, which I like, was we were telling, she ran down the stairs after me and got into the living room and then jumped, spun in the air, landed, but slid because she still had forward momentum, slid, and then face planted. And was very confused as how she got into that position.
Yeah, I worry sometimes that she's going to break her face. Especially now that her legs are too long. I'm sorry, we sound like, for all my friends who have had babies and we've listened to you talk about
I've never
your
listened
babies.
to you. Sorry.
I have. Here. All right, so we're starting to form little pea-sized crumbles here. Here, your head's in the way.
I know. Oh, sorry. My bald spot.
Into this, I'm going to put 6 tablespoons of ice water. Now, pardon me, I'm choking on the last sip of drink I had.
It's a little bright. Bring that down.
It's not the COVIDs. I think that's 4. I think this is 6.
One day when we get real cameras besides phones, I'll have it'll look really nice.
I'm actually going to work this in with my fingers and get rid of this little implement here. The recipe calls for, sorry, the butter is really stuck in here. And these, and these are a little bit sharp. In case you've never cut yourself with one of these, it's not pleasant. It's not as bad as a mandolin, mind you, but
that's Misty.
That was my point.
The cooking thing, not the
instrument. No,
I cut myself in a mandolin, but that's only because I was fighting a bard.
I'm just going to work this in a little bit. Now, it's very dry in our house because we keep turning the fireplace on. And because it's dry, what I'm going to do is we're going to work this for a couple of seconds, see what's happening here. But I have my ice water on hand.
It's healing. Watch your Instagram update.
Oh, I've seen. I'm quite impressed. It's good that you don't smoke cigarettes or drink an excessive amount because you're healing quite
Or get
well.
upset that you got cut.
She was a good sport.
She was a good sport.
She was a good sport. That horrible injury happened at our house.
Yes.
Sorry.
That's how we know about it.
Also because
my wife killed her.
I did not do that. She's watching.
You distracted her while she was doing something. And she cut her finger off.
I don't know.
They reattached it.
I don't think that's true. Misty, was it my fault? I'm sorry if it was.
I'm not kidding. I really wasn't here, so I have no idea why it happened. You guys were yelling for me. It's all I know. Because neither of you could look at blood.
There may have been wine involved. Shit happens. All right, so I'm working this. It's not fully incorporating. Again, it's very dry in here. This is part of the reason, personally, that I don't love making crust or dough or whatever most of the time because I find hola chica. I find you can make like the filling for this, for example. I would make it the same way if it was 90 degrees and 100% humidity in my house or not. I find the problem with dough and all of this stuff is it's so dependent on the environment. I'm actually going to flip this. One more, please. Thank you. What is your problem?
Are you broken?
You know what she wants?
Oh, she wants a stick?
A stick.
I got her a stick.
She's a very
That
spoiled.
sounded really overtly sexual, and I didn't mean
A
it that
stick?
way. I'll get her a stick. Yeah.
No, I don't think it did. I think only you thought that.
Chicka, chicka, bow.
Oh, stop it.
Here,
Dog,
have my
dog
stick.
porn music is
Oh,
different.
put it in your mouth. Yeah.
Gross. All right, we're getting somewhere here. I might need
A little bit more?
just a tiny bit more. Hold on,
I'm
just
the
gonna.
water boy, like Adam Sandler.
You can do it.
Here's a little bit more.
Thank you. Oh. All right, so now what I'm
Margarita
gonna
says she
do.
loves making. My mother makes an incredible pie crust too. My mother's a great baker. She's always been an amazing baker.
She a
Which is
master,
ironic
she a
because
master baker?
Her sister's a baker, but
That's a joke. I'm sure your mother understood.
yeah, well, she married Ken Baker,
I understand.
which is ironic. Not the Kenny Baker you're thinking of.
I don't know Kenny Baker.
Kenny Baker played R2D2.
Oh, see, I didn't even know that. Can you wrap? Can you move the mom bowl? Thanks, Marina. I like this bowl.
Mambo number 5.
Mom bowl number 5. Okay, so you see here we've got something's actually happening. All of it.
bit of mambo.
It's all sticking together.
It's all sticking. It's a gorgeous.
Guys, I'm getting better at this. Who knew? Practice. It's amazing.
Are you done with this?
When you don't expect to be perfect the first time. Yes, I am.
All right.
All right, so we're not going to overwork this too much. I'm just going to give it a that. Then I'm going to give it one more like that. And because I'm a liar and I said I wasn't going to overwork it, there we go.
That's perfect. It's gorgeous.
This-
Now you need it into a disc.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it into a balle.
A balle.
Une petite balle.
And balle.
Ouais, on fait
And I
des
need
balles.
plastic. You want a plastic, right?
S'il vous plaît.
The plastic first. I forgot to use plastic on this one.
All right, now we're going to flat. On fait ça du flat. On pousse,
they're gonna
pousse.
flatten it on here.
Push, push, in the bush. My favorite disco song of ever. There we go.
There you go.
If you don't know Push, Push in the Bush, do yourself a favor. Look it up.
To get yourself.
It's a funny
Get
little
a bush
song.
you can push into.
It is one funny little disco song. Hold on. We might actually be okay. Ça marche. I don't like to waste too much plastic wrap. We are good here.
All right.
So this, it's not a perfect disc. We're going to fix it. Comme ça, dans le frigo, in the fridge it goes for 20 minutes minimum. S'il vous plaît. Les amis, I'm going to come back over to the main cam as soon as I just get the dough.
Oh, we are. Oh, we left them on that.
I left them. Yeah, I left them for a second.
Yeah.
Because I had doughy fingers.
Just a mumble.
Just a mumble.
A mumble.
What's yuck, Ruby Rose?
She Margaret was saying she likes to eat unbaked dough.
I like cookie dough unbaked. I'm not such a pie dough unbaked. I like to do something worse. I like to eat uncooked ground beef, which is really dangerous. But don't tell anyone.
I like to eat my ground beef uncooked and still alive.
Can you just I just want to take this off of here.
I'll take that off of there.
Quickly. I know, I'm just saying. Have a chat.
Doing time. We're doing perfect.
I know, I'm just taking the dough off of the oops, what's up, dog?
Now the dog has got the stick and it's playing with the stick. Yeah, you're playing with my stick. Yeah.
Oh my god, stop.
It's funny.
It's yucky.
Hi, dog. All right, so we have one drink down. We have our dough in the fridge. This herbed dough is really good. I think it really makes the dish.
I think also, I used chives and thyme, and I should have used parsley. But I also think this kind of thing, you can mess around with whatever you want in there, really.
Yeah,
rosemary or, whatever herbs make sense to you.
I will say, if you get a chance, make sure you try and do some mushroom infusing of your booze.
Yes, this mushroom infused alcohol is really,
I want to make sure this is in the right place. Oh,
sorry. Just trying to clean.
I understand. I'm just for, there we go. It's all right. Boom. Uncooked ground beef with allspice and other seasoning is a Lebanese dish called kibbeh.
Yeah, but kibbeh has...
I love Lebanon. That's where John Lennon was from.
Lebanon?
Lebanon.
Leave her alone. She's got a bum finger.
I'm just worried about the word kibbeh. Is that the right one?
My sister, do mushrooms. As in what? You'd like me to do mushrooms, drugs, mushrooms?
Do mushrooms. Or,
love how my
or
sister
have
has-
sex with mushrooms.
My sister's got real balls when it comes to me doing things and
Yeah.
not her doing them.
There you are. Hey,
Oh.
Steffi, you do mushrooms. Haha, got you.
Also, hope you're feeling better, little sister.
All right. We have. Oh, now I want to mention.
Kibe was the right word, by the way, Mr. Yes.
I want to mention that always on every show we like to have our sexy women. They happen to eat food for precisely 60 seconds.
Yes,
Some might call it a minute.
1 minute. The
And
shortest minute on the internet.
the next episode of A Sexy Woman Eats Food will be our 50th episode. 50 episodes of A Sexy Woman Eats Food for 1 minute. But it's I want to do something bigger with it. So we didn't get it ready today because you were very busy. You had a lot of choreography. You were teaching people
I
how
taught
to
3
dance.
dance classes
It
this
was
week.
crazy, so we couldn't get something done, but we're gonna. But what I also want to do is go back and look at some of the classic, the best, what I consider the best of, and nothing is better to me than this episode. A classic sexy woman
Who eats food?
for one. Oh, hit the wrong button. No, she doesn't do that. No, wait, it's gonna be for 1 minute.
Killed her!
That was, and again, the reason why we did that episode is while she was filming that, Galadriel told me the story about how she had actually, that moment that I had it stop, she literally almost choked to death on a cheese curd. Luckily, her boyfriend was there at the time to bring her back from beyond.
Oh, I wanna. Hold on. Oh, she's back.
And hi, Noam. I got you.
I got her.
I know, but she's pushing off of you, so I wanted to make sure she's got some support off
She's
of
got support. I support. Oh.
There you go. There you go. It's amazing. I never liked a dog. Well, thanks for the follow, Sadiq. That's nice of you. I never was a big fan of a dog.
Dog kisses?
Dog kisses.
But she's so cute.
But she's lovely, and she's got but you're sometimes you overdo it. Like there's
With the kisses or
overdo
with
it.
the barking?
You were away last night, and at one point I was downstairs and she sat on my head and insisted on licking my eyes from above. It was a very weird sensation. Very odd indeed.
I know what you need, but I can't get it for you right now.
All right.
Mama's got to cook some food, okay?
Cook some
Baba?
food. Wash your hands.
I'm going. No.
I want the dog. Come here, dog.
I know that.
So we've made the dough.
We have made the dough.
We're going to make the filling. One more time for you, those of you who didn't see the dough recipe. These are the ingredients for the dough. We just did that, combined that together. We put it in a disc, and it's now in the fridge. It's got to sit there for 20 minutes, you said?
20 minutes.
So now you're making the filling.
Yes. Now, I am going to deviate just ever so slightly from the recipe that we're giving you because folks, being the conscientious person that I am, I did make this. That was for the girls. I did make this on the weekend to try it out to see if we even liked it. Hi, boo boo boo. You can't cook. You don't have thumbs. It's hard to cook with no thumbs. And that's butter. You don't eat butter.
Well, so, the fact that her head just it's about there on the camera.
Yeah, it's a funny. I mean, if it didn't do that, no one would have been able to see that we did a conga line. You and her before.
True. It's true. Well, while you were cooking, I was making her do tricks in the back.
So to this, we're gonna add some butter. Now, friends, when I'm making crust or dough or whatever, all of the bakey stuff, you need to be like precise with your butter. When I'm throwing butter into my pan to saute some onions, I'm very approximative about the whole thing, right? So we're gonna get this going. We're gonna melt the butter. We're gonna saute some onions. You brought up the crust recipe. Could you bring up the filling recipe?
Filling recipe here. There we are.
Because I need to know one thing.
Yes. What would you like to know?
1/3 of a cup of creme fraiche. Perfect.
1/3 of a cup of creme fraiche.
And could you do me one favor, please, my love?
Creme fraiche.
Creme fraiche.
Creme fraiche.
That's because of the accent.
No, I was doing because of the South Park. Creme fraiche.
Oh, right, yes. Could you grab me 1 egg?
1 egg.
Please. I just want it to be a little bit more room temp. So. Okay, because my sister's watching, there's a chance my mother might be watching. Mom, I cooked in your kitchen yesterday. Where's your wooden spoons? You need wooden spoons. Everybody needs wooden spoons. I don't know how peeps don't have wooden spoons. Or like spatula. Anything in wood, because you don't always want to put play metal on metal. And sometimes like the hard plastic just doesn't cut it. Like I was trying to like make pork yesterday with this big plastic spoon. Didn't work. I needed this. Or the other magic tool that my mother-in-law got us. Thank you, Maureen.
Oh, yeah.
This dude, this has nothing to do with what I'm making right now. This dude's super helpful for breaking up ground beef, ground chicken, sausage, if you're uncasing sausages and making stuff. Get one of these. That's been El Diablo's kitchen gadgets you should own.
What is that thing called?
I have no idea because I don't think that thing existed like 20 years ago, which I always find amazing. Like when we revolutionized.
A chomper.
A chomper? Okay, we've got some onion bits here that are a little bit big. Hold on.
Sorry, that
No, it's fine.
The sous chef should be fired.
My sous chef should only be fired because there's onion skin in the onions, not because the dice isn't perfect.
Well, that's only because my chef took my cutting board.
All right, be that way. I can't argue with that. I did do that.
Oh.
All right, so we're gonna get these. I've got this on medium. We're gonna push these onions around the pan until they get a little bit more translucent, so they start to cook a little bit more. You'll notice, or at least I did, because I believe that butter, garlic, and onions is the trifecta of any good thing. There is actually, much to my complete and utter disbelief, there is no garlic in this recipe. Now, I am making this recipe mostly as I found it. You can put garlic in it. I'm also going to put a little bit of wine in it, not in the recipe. I've also, these were dried, like a variety of dried forest wild mushrooms that I bought. I bought some of these at Costco and some of them we bought like locally. Pour some boiling water, let them sit there for some hours, let them reanimate. When you strain them, you're going to get basically a mushroom broth. I wouldn't recommend just drinking it as is because, again, it kind of tastes a little bit like the forest, which on one hand tastes good and on the other hand tastes a little bit dirty. But why have I kept it? I've kept it because I'm going to put a little bit of it back into the mushrooms so that as we're deglazing the pan or whatever, yes, the mushrooms themselves are going to release more liquid, but this is going to put some flavor back in the pan. So I'm going to let these. Pardon me?
Found out why she was
Oh.
She pooped.
Somewhere that makes sense?
Oh yeah, this is fine. This is fine. I've dealt with it. My hands are clean.
Thank you for dealing with that.
It's all right.
Sometimes in life, shit happens.
Oh, now I get
Now you get it, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't a Forrest Gump thing. It was someone who owned a dog. All right, so these look pretty good to me. They're not like perfectly all the way cooked through, but we're getting there. Into this, I am going to add 3 cups of these beautiful.
Sin is here! Yay!
I'm adding these. You know what I should have done, friends? But again, I got home from teaching dance at 4:10 today, and we went live at 5. So, can you put that over there?
Squeaks! How are you? It's Sin, it's Squeaks. Everybody's here.
I didn't chop these. I could have chopped these. What I'm also going to do here, friendlies, is I am adding, not a lot, like a little bit of extra butter because I want this to be delicious.
Yeah.
And,
well, it's mushrooms and butter and onions. How could that not be? What did you cook today, Sin? I want to know.
All right, Sin's going to answer that question. I'm going to put a little bit of salt in here. Could you pass me the pepper, please?
Yeah, pepper.
We're going to put some salt in. I'm going to turn up the heat a little bit. Go nuts with your bad
For those of you guys who just came in from the raid, we are having our mushroom day, so we're making a mushroom.
Chocolate raid.
A chocolate. You didn't even say chocolate. We're doing a wild mushroom galette.
A galette is the French thing for like pie that's not really a pie. It's like a pie crust that you fold over the thing.
Yeah, it's a pie. So we're doing wild mushroom galette, and we're doing 2 mushroom-infused cocktails today.
We have already done one.
We did one, which is a mushroom-infused Manhattan, which is absolutely insanely good.
Now, go
you
over.
can tell by how much we're drinking
If
of
you
each.
could go overhead, please. I know you're talking to. Hi, guys.
White chocolate raspberry cheese.
So this is not releasing too much liquid right now because I also pressed out the mushrooms pretty thoroughly before I put them in here. So we're gonna add, it's gonna sound counterintuitive. I'm adding a tiny bit of this mushroom liquid back in for flavor because we can always just boil this off and let it reduce. In addition to this, I am adding a little bit of, what did I buy today? Le Grand Ballon.
The big
Le
balloon?
Grand Ballon, the big balloon. It has won international.
I had a guy who I went
Sorry,
to.
I'm talking. International Challenge 2021 gold medal. Gilbert et Gaillard, Sauvignon Blanc, Val de Loire.
I went to this place on a trip.
Yeah.
And a guy gave me a Grand Ballon. I put it up my butt.
And then you went to jail?
No, I got away with it.
You're a lucky guy.
I'm an excellent smuggler.
Did the government of Canada call and give you a message saying a package has been intercepted by Canada Border Services?
No.
Oh, friends of ours in the States, do you guys get scam calls like that these days? Everybody I know is getting calls from the Canadian Border Services that like drugs have been sent.
I haven't got one of those. I have not got one.
I get like 3 a week.
I have not got one of those.
I get honestly like 3 a week. And the first time I did get nervous because I had ordered drugs through the mail.
You'd ordered drugs, yes.
But then I realized, hey.
Tons of scams. Not that one specifically says sin, but tons of scams.
Oh yeah.
What do you want? What was your, okay, if you have an opinion on this, let me know right now. You're sucking my thumb, and that's a weird thing.
Thanks.
For those of you who are just meeting, this is our new puppy, Nomi Malone. She has 2 months with us officially today. No, tomorrow. We got her September 11th.
Bye, Sin. Nice to see you. Hey, Squeaks. Insurance calls, like as in what? Your insurance claim hasn't gone through? I've been getting a lot because I run a different business than this on the side. I've been getting a lot of freight forwarder emails. Like freight forwarders, like people like if you're shipping shit in from a different country internationally and like you've had a freight forwarder that says like pretty much like your basically like your container of goods has cleared, please find attached your invoice, pay it ASAP. And I'm like, I didn't bring in a container shipped from India. Like I have no idea what people are talking about.
I want to find that container. Steph says that your mom does not have a wooden spoon.
I know. Steph, Hanukkah ideas right now. You and me, we're gonna split a wooden spoon.
Makes a lot of sense. Nomi Balone.
Huh? Oh, she's getting bigger.
Yeah. All right.
All right, friends. This is. I'm gonna let it go for another minute or so. I'm adding, because I am terrible, on this show. I try in my regular day-to-day life to be fairly heart healthy. When
Lots
I
of butter
cook
in
on the
this one.
show, well, there's a lot of butter. This is why stuff like this is not necessarily so calorie friendly, because there's a lot of, pardon me, butter in the crust. And because I'm a crazy butter maniac.
But again, it's not terrible. I mean, yeah. So you have a little bit of fat. I think you have to have a little bit of fat.
Oh, no, you do, but I find that I add more fat than I need. I also just added a tiny bit more liquid because as I'm pushing these mushrooms around in the pan, I'd like them to be a bit softer. So basically, and I'm just going to go poop with my wine. So this extra liquid, as it boils off, like everything is going to tenderize the mushrooms. So we're going to keep this going maybe for 1.5 extra minutes. I'm going to turn the heat up just a tiny bit. Just blast these. We're going to get rid of that extra liquid. Yeah, that's what.
Blast them.
What?
Blast them.
What?
Oh.
What?
That's what she said.
That is what she said.
Fat is your friend. I agree with you, Sin. Butter is good for you.
Mm-hmm. It's good for your general sense of well-being. It's not necessarily good for your arteries.
You know how you make friends? You make them something rich and delicious.
It's good for happiness. It's just not necessarily good for cholesterol.
Hey, what's better, to live a long life or live a good life?
I mean, in an ideal world, you can live
can't. That's a cheap ass.
Good life.
There you go.
Good life. That's why I eat the butter and I put the salt and I have the 7 liters of wine.
7 liters.
I'm
preferably both. I know everybody wants to have a good long life, but like I said, the whole point is not having both. The point is if you had to choose one.
What's that song? We're here for a good time, not for a long time.
Yeah.
No, I agree. Plus, everybody I know who's
Who sang that song?
Misty will find out for us.
Cause the sun is shining in a crazy city. I don't know.
Anyway, yes, that song.
That song, Two
all right,
lines.
You know what? I think, in all fairness, this is probably
perfect.
Good. I'm going to just take these off of here and put them on the back stove.
Are you done with this?
I am.
All right, I'll take this off of here and I'll put that over there.
Beautiful. Don't put it on the egg.
I'm not going to. That's just moving.
Ha.
All right. So we have Trooper sang it. Thank you very much, Misty.
Oh, it was Trooper. Thank you, Misty.
Tomatoes. I don't know what that meant, Squeaks. Are you suggesting that tomatoes sang it, like just tomatoes in general? To go to
or tomatoes are here for a good time, not for a long time.
That's a fair statement about tomatoes.
It is indeed.
It is.
All right, so
food you wouldn't give up. Tomatoes. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, good. Okay, that was a very confusing statement for a second.
I get that. What's a food you would, other than mushrooms? What's a food you would never give up?
Food I wouldn't give up. Cheese. Couldn't give up cheese. I think dairy in general. I love milk. To me, if I'm I go out in the sun, it's a hot summer day, and I'm sweating. The first thing I have is a big slug of milk.
Ugh.
Milk is the most refreshing thing in the world to me.
Oh God. For me, and it's so ironic because I am such a proponent of cheese, but I am not a milk person at all. I find it terrible. And minus chocolate milk, but I will buy a jug of chocolate milk and take a
chocolate rain.
I loved it. It was my favorite game that we've played on the show.
It is. I would bring it back. I'm trying to find an alternative to it, but okay. You need to get some stuff going for the next one. Do you want me to get the other thing?
No, I want the other thing to sit for literally just 2 more quick minutes.
2 more quick minutes.
2 more quick little minutes. What the other thing I'm going to do quickly here is just actually grab some extra flour so we can. I was going to.
Okay.
I'm just they I've got a good butt in these leggings. If they have to look at my butt for literally 2 seconds, I think it's okay.
Butt in those leggings.
I have a great butt in these leggings. Thank you, Lululemon.
Nobody should ever thank Lululemon.
Well, they
you want the...
yeah, just a thank you. All right. Thank you, man. Thanks, man. And the other thing I need is a parchment lined
I will get
baking
you a parchment
sheet.
lined baking
One of them that is going to be big enough to fit
I know.
my 15,
I did it the other night. I remember.
To fit my 15.
I got it.
Thanks, Squeaks. Thanks for joining us. Yes, go pay attention to your child. That's an important thing. Or so they tell me. I don't know.
We're going to put our child on the show.
All right, friends. While Danny D is doing that, and while I am just waiting to take the pie crust out of the fridge, I'm going to crack this egg in here. I'm going to just twist around for 2 seconds.
You need me to beat that?
I'm going to put the eggshell in the compost. I am going to go and put 3 or 4 little drops of water in here. I can beat.
Children are overrated.
It depends.
Depends on the
I think
children.
if they're your own personal children, maybe
Probably-
not
you're
so
probably
overrated.
fond
You're
of
probably
them.
okay with them. But who knows? Well, I know nothing.
There are certain children. I would say Donald Trump's children are overrated.
I don't ever want to hear his name ever again, really. So like, we don't have to do that.
It's weird that he named somebody after himself. So even when he dies, you'll still have to hear his
I
name.
know, it's gross. Oh my God, can we just talk about American politics for 2 seconds? Did anybody see how angry Ted Cruz is at Big Bird?
I know, it's awesome.
The best thing I've ever seen. I'm like, y'all be stupid.
This is funny because Ted Cruz kind of looks like a Muppet. Like a bad Muppet, like a Muppet that it was supposed to be a character, but it didn't quite work.
No, don't insult.
No, there was that. Remember there was that purple Muppet guy. Oh, that died on this.
Something died.
Something died.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's insulting to the Muppets to say that Ted Cruz looks like a Muppet. All right. In the spirit of moving forward, while Danny D does this, I'm going to vamp for a second. You can't see, but I'm shuffling off to Buffalo. I am just going to slide. Hold on 1 second. Watch me disappear and reappear like magic with a pie crust dough in my hands. Ta-da! Look what I did. I made magic. It's here now. Okay. So what I'm going to do, because I don't like making too much of a mess, despite how I make a huge mess all the time, because I put this in a disc before I wrapped it, I'm flattening it a little bit with the old body weight here once it's already wrapped, because it's giving me a nice disc shape regard like this, and it's easier, I find, to work some of it down like this. I know it's not very professional of me, and if any of my friends are pastry chefs and they're watching, they're like, what the hell are you doing? I don't care. I'm doing me. I'm doing what makes sense to me. We're gonna put this on this floured surface.
There you go.
Do you mind just passing me the flour for 1 sec? I need to give it a little bit of a flour
Yeah,
job
yeah.
here. That was Mom commenting, by the way. Hi, Mom commenting. We're gonna get you some wooden spoons. All right. We're rolling this puppy out. Look, okay, could you go overhead for 1 sec?
right
I'm
now.
sorry, I'm being very demanding.
It's all right. You're allowed to.
Look at that. You can see that in here we have this like lovely herb situation.
Herb situation was my favorite salesman.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mine was
Herb situation.
Mine was bitter herb. It's a Passover joke. My sister laughed. Maybe she did not. We're gonna just flatten this out a little bit. I'm gonna do a little flip over.
The return.
Yeah, could you give me just a tiny bit more?
More flour there.
S'il vous plaît. Donks, donks. Here we go. Throw that down. We're gonna give this another. Push that out from the center. Whee! Whee!
Looks gorgeous.
Whee!
And you want, how thick do you want this?
About a 1/4 inch by about 15 inches in diameter. Now, could you grab me the pie plate that I used the other day to cut my little circle? Yeah. Thanks. I think my pie dish is not quite 15. I think I've got a 12 or a 9, but we're going to cut around it. You guys be resourceful. I trust you.
I think this is 9, but this looks to be about 12 on the outside.
Yeah, that's what I used last time was the outer edge. All right, so we've got this nice even looking dough here. If you could plop that down in the middle and pass me a knife. Oh, here, actually I have a knife right here. I'm going to go out by an extra, what is that, 1/2 inch?
About an inch. Oh, a centimeter. 1/2 inch, yeah.
I don't know.
By a centimeter, by exactly 1 centimeter. I like to do that because I know we have some friends of ours from the States.
Also, I am as Canadian as they come. I still don't understand what centimeters are.
I think there's a certain generation of Canadians who are still stuck in imperial. I think it was your and I generation were the last ones that still
Do
was
younger people know
entrenched.
centimeters?
I
Hey,
think
young
so.
people, if you're
Hey,
watching.
young people. There's no young people.
Hey, young people.
Young people don't watch this show.
Thank you. So now we've got a mostly circular, kind of oval-esque shape here.
It's lovely.
It's good. We're good.
Now you need
I'm
your
going to
thing
flip
here.
it one more time. I need a measuring cup because... Oh, yes, I also need that.
We'll put this down first.
Yes, please.
So here we go.
Okay, we're going to put that in there. So this is a parchment lined.
Parchment-lined baking sheet. All right.
So now you need what?
Oh, you
just
want
a
that?
spoon so I can
So you do a third of a cup.
see. And a spoon, please.
A poon.
1 teaspoon.
So this is creme fraiche.
We all used to be young people, friend. We're still young at
I've
heart,
never been
right?
a young person. Even when I was younger, I was still quite old.
I think I was kind of old too when I was young, but I don't know what
I was
that
never
is.
an old soul. I was just horribly obnoxious
Curmudgeonly?
for my child.
Curmudgeonly.
I only got curmudgeonly as I got older. And I got it about very specific things.
All right, so we've got a third of a cup. No, I'm not. I'm
I
gonna
was going to hold that while you were doing that.
Okay, we're putting a third of a cup. I think it's a third.
Yeah, so it's exactly a third. It is a third. I'll bring it up again.
Yeah.
It is a third.
But I reserve the right, friends, to add a little bit depending on how I feel. So we've got this third of a cup of creme fraiche down in the middle here. We're going to leave I'm going to say about 1.5 inches, but again, I just said I don't know measurements because smart. We're going to leave a border around the edge because you'll see why in a minute. Look at this suspense, keeping people into it. I'm going to take a tiny bit more because it's my prerogative.
Yeah.
And we've got a nice, even
Coating.
coating of creme fraiche.
Creme fraiche.
Creme
Creme fraiche.
Over here.
right.
Beautiful. Look at that. So tasty. It's like it really is a mix between like sour cream and something else. I just need a slotted spoon. Oh,
Slotted spoon, and I'll get you the cheese.
and could you grab me actually the slotted spoon from...
Oh, there's one right here, isn't there? The white one? Oh, maybe it's on that side. The white one should be there.
See.
Right there.
See.
And here's the cheese.
Because
Right.
what would this be without?
So,
Cheese.
there's not a lot of liquid left here because we let it all
Hang out.
hang out, get absorbed. We are going to put this delicious wild mushroom mix. Danny D, I
Hold
can
that.
do that. No, I can do that.
Yeah.
In the fridge, I know I bought some fresh thyme, but in there I think there's still a little bit of like the fresh dried stuff.
The fresh dried stuff.
You know what I mean? Like
No.
the one I got today is still in very much animated form.
Oh,
I
this
think
one?
there's like, no, that's very animated. There's the
I
one
want
in
something
like
less animated.
the plasticky, the hard plastic container.
Hard plastic.
You know that most of the herbs come in at the grocery store? Yeah, that one is a bit drier, and I think it'll work better. Okay, look at this mountain of delicious, friends. This is so good. I know I put it back in there somewhere, so worst case, I'm going to just find it.
Yeah, you may have to find this.
No worries.
I'm horrible at finding things.
No, it's okay. I also, I Tetris our fridge.
Oh, wait, I may have found it.
I Tetris the fridge.
Stand by, people. I may have. Oh.
Look at you go. Okay.
I'm not useless.
You are not. Nobody said you were. Look
I
at
was saying
this.
it to myself.
All right. So, here we go. We have this. I'm going to take, you know what? I'm taking the last little tiny bit of liquid. There was a very little bit left in the bottom. Can you do that for me?
I got that.
Thank you very much. On to this delicious pile of delicious.
All right. I'm sorry. I just want people to see that from this angle, but we're going to go back overhead now. Because it's such a beautiful... God, that thing is
I'm going to
gorgeous.
put some fresh thyme on top.
Fresh dried
here.
thyme.
Fresh dried thyme.
Fresh dried
Not
thyme?
because the other stuff I do have extra thyme in the fridge, and I might end up using some of it, but it's very, very like fresh, like right off the plant, fresh. This
Right
is
off
a
the-
little bit drier.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've given this a little bit of a thyme sprinkle. Thyme
sprinkle.
See
That was my favorite Doctor Who episode. Thyme sprinkle.
While I looked around for my possibilities. There we go.
So you got some thyme. So we have
So we've got
creme
thyme,
fraiche, mushroom
mushrooms.
mixture.
Now,
Now this is where it gets sexy.
we're gonna put some Gruyere on here.
Salty, nutty.
Now, if you really wanted to be evil, and had I not been concentrating so hard on getting this right before, I would have put half my mushrooms down, put a little bit of sneaky Gruyere in there.
And I know what you're
And
saying with that,
maybe-
and I disagree with that. You know why I think? Because the mushroom is such a great hearty thing on its own that
You don't need to. It's not like nachos where you gotta
Layer
confuse
it.
the.
Yeah, I
you
got
want
you.
sometimes you want a nice piece of cheese and then you want that mushroom earthiness underneath. All right.
I just like it. Like, I'm all about like building perfect bites, and to me, like putting putting a layer of mushrooms and a little bit of cheese and a layer of mushrooms means that you'll always get the perfect bite.
All right. So before you fold it, I'm going to go back overhead so people can see what you're going to do.
Right.
now.
So here's the deal.
this is the galettifying.
This is what we've got, right?
We're gonna galette it.
We've got some pretty intense cheese, mushrooms, some fresh thyme. I am going to take the crust and I'm just going to fold it over and fold it. So we're rolling and folding as we go. So we're kind of creating an edge here.
Like a pleat.
Like a pleat. Yeah, exactly. Like a pleat. Right? So I'm going to pleat this all the way around. Bloop, 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 bloop. That's my pleat song. I didn't know.
It was great.
I didn't know it existed until right this very
It's
second.
beautiful.
Thank you. Now,
That is a galette.
here we go. Can I just have the egg wash, please?
Oh, and the egg wash, and here's the egg wash for
And
you.
I just need a brosse.
A brosse.
Une petite brosse.
Brosse. I'm gonna bring
Oh, mon
in
gosh,
this so people can see you do this.
Excusez-moi, j'ai perdu ma brosse.
All right,
Okay,
and we're
I
gonna go
found
back
my
in
brosse. Okay, we go into our little egg wash, which is just a lightly beaten egg with some water. We're gonna go around here and paint it all pretty nice. Pretty nice. Do the hustle. I don't know why I'm so disco-y today. I think it's because I
It started off with push in the bush. I think
I'm just so into
'Cause-
I'm back dancing and it just makes me happy.
made you think of your bush.
It just made me. I love disco. I love
know you do.
dancing. I love the music.
This looks beautiful, by the way. This is almost edible as is.
You wouldn't want to eat this like this though, because
Well,
it's not going to be as good. As much as Margarita likes her raw
I
pie
think
crust,
Margarita would love it.
Margarita, you can. I mean, you do you, my muffin.
Oh, you're gonna go in the oven with this, aren't you?
We are going to go in the
I'm gonna
oven.
hang on to this so we can go to the oven together.
Hold on 1 second. So I'm just going to make sure that's all nicely covered, nicely brushed, because we're not brushing this again. So we could if we wanted to, but I don't think it needs to be. Hold on, I'm just going in there because I see your friend over here is a little retentive. And when I see that there's like little dry corners, I just like to make sure everything is properly wet.
You don't want to wet it too much, though. Oh, sorry, I see what you said. No, I don't have it on this one.
Well,
That's what she said.
Oh,
there you go. All right, and because I'm me and I cannot do life without cheese, I saved a tiny little bit for when I had folded up the galette. We're gonna
That's what she said.
just cover up these little bits that aren't quite covered.
That's what
There
she
we
said.
go, friends. Look at that.
All right, let's look at overhead. This is what we're going into the oven with.
It does. Oh, does Mary have said it looks scandalous?
It does look scandalous. It looks
All right, so
incredibly
here we
scandalous.
go.
All right, we're going to the oven with this. Let's go. Here's the oven. Going to the oven cam.
Going to the oven 'cause it's gonna get yummy. Going to the oven could have cut some of this out so we don't have a fire.
We're not gonna have a fire.
right.
We don't have a gas oven.
All right, fuck it. No,
We have an electric oven, so we won't have a fire. Be fine.
no, it's just I don't like it when the paper burns in the oven. Anyway, ta-da! And in here, bake. It's baking timer. Yeah, bake start timer. We're gonna put it in there for 40 minutes. Today we might be going a couple of minutes long, friends. I'm gonna actually put it in for 35 in case any of you have to go. Yeah.
It's all right. We're good. We're good. We'll be fine. It is. This is one of the we've tested this recipe. It is one of the most delicious things. You know what I always say too? This is a good sign of how good this mushroom Manhattan is.
Because the mushroom one is finished and the other
It's
one
pretty
is
much
not?
empty. Here's the thing. Do you want to? It's like eating the worm. You want to have half?
Oh, half the tequila mushroom? No, I'm kidding. It's
No,
not.
it's really good. Actually, try that.
I'm going to. I just wanted to clean up some of this flour. Oh, boozy. Oh, boozy. Oh.
That's a boozy mushroom.
Wow, I didn't expect that much alcohol.
Wow.
I don't know why I didn't expect that much alcohol. But
All
I didn't
right.
expect that much alcohol. Oh.
We are gonna
I
go.
have to remember how to chew. Does that ever happen to you?
You forgot how to chew?
Where something is so weird in your mouth that like your brain fucks up and you're like you can't remember how to like either chew or swallow. It happens to me every once in a while when I'm doing shots and I do the shot and then my brain goes, what?
Nope. Why are you doing
And-
this?
And I don't know how to
That's right. We're in our 40s and 50s. We still do shots.
You know what? Judgment is for judgmental
Who judged
assholes.
you? I was stating facts.
No, I know.
All right.
I was commenting about anybody who thought they were going to judge us.
At this point, I wasn't sure if I could do this, but I did do this.
Okay.
I didn't think I could come up with a game
Okay.
that was mushroom themed
Okay.
because
What does that
it
even
didn't
look like?
sound like it was very interesting, in all fairness. But then you start to read a lot of facts about mushrooms, and they're fascinating.
They are.
You watched that documentary
I'm
that
just
you
putting
love.
this in the fridge. Yes, and I would recommend it.
What was the documentary called?
It's called Fabulous Fungi. I don't know if I got. I at the time I streamed it somewhere because it wasn't
I believe it's
widely
on
available. Now I believe it's either on
Netflix. It's on Netflix.
It might be on Netflix. It is
At least in Canada,
so
in Netflix.
freaking cool, friends.
About facts about mushrooms. So I thought, since I know you watched this,
Okay, sorry,
you love mushroom facts.
I do.
So I decided that I would just steer into this skid
Okay.
and create a game called Oh Mycology.
I love it.
You have to say it like a Sulu. Oh Mycology.
Yes.
Fozzie Osbourne. I am here at Corpus Christi. Tomorrow I'm going to visit my favorite singer's gravesite. Well,
Who's
your
buried
favorite
in Corpus Christi?
Corpus Christi.
And where are you from? If you're there visiting a gravesite,
Where are you from? Let us know.
We like Fozzie Osbourne, like
Fozzie
Fozzie,
Osbourne.
like
It's very funny.
Fozzie,
It's
like
very funny.
like.
It's very funny.
We were just talking about the Muppets.
All right, so Oh Mycology. So what I'm going to do, this is a very different game we've played before. I mean, it's not crazy different,
Okay.
but I'm going to give you a question.
Yep.
I'm going to give you multiple choice answers. So you could do very, very well this time.
Okay.
Question, multiple choice, I'll tell you the answer.
Okay.
These are all true facts about the world of mushrooms.
Cool.
So that's why I've called it Oh Mycology.
Yes.
So the first question is,
Bye, Ruby Rose. Go have fun in Barbados.
there is an entire genus of mushrooms found all over the world, and that tastes like, and your options are fried chicken, rubber tires, or human flesh. Does this, and it's found all over the world, it tastes like fried chicken, rubber tires, or human flesh?
I'm gonna go with fried chicken.
You are correct. There's an entire, and it's quite a broad species of mushroom that taste exactly like, and they're like those kind of mushrooms, fungus you would find off the side of a tree. They're orange in color. Selena Cantilla.
Selena.
Oh, fantastic.
Oh, cool. I mean, not cool because she's dead,
But that's very good.
cool
I'm
that
glad
you're
you're
doing
having a good time doing that. Thank you for tuning into the show. That's very nice. First time meeting you here. This is it's a cooking cocktails, and right now we're doing a
and weird game
trivia
about mushrooms.
Weird game about mushrooms. That seems to go with what you're going through. Question number 2, and Misty got that answer right as well.
Also, I just want to know Fozzie Osbourne, where are you from?
Where are you from, Fozzie?
If you're visiting Corpus Christi, are you from Texas, just somewhere else? Or like, where are you from?
Okay, next question. In order to spread their spores, some mushrooms can, Delaware, Fozzie's from Delaware. Some mushrooms can shoot them like bullets, fart, or create breezes around themselves?
Oh, I think all three answers are true, but I'm going to say shoot them like bullets.
The actual answer is they
Create
can
breezes.
create their own airstreams.
Yeah, mushrooms are fucking cool.
It's quite insane.
From
C,
Delaware.
Ozzy got it right with C. They can create. All right. Ancient Egyptians referred to them as the plant of, is it divinity, intoxication, or immortality?
Ooh.
How did
Okay, here's my logic. I'm going to assume that, I always say this to Danny D, that I'd love to know how many people have died over the course
Fozzie says B?
of millennia to figure out what mushrooms we can eat and which we can't eat, because a lot of them look very similar.
Somebody's got to be the canary in the
coal mine.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with B, intoxication.
Weirdly, no. They refer to it as the plants of immortality, only fed to royalty, which is weird because here's a true fact about all ancient Egyptian royalty. They all died.
Oh, this is true. Yes.
This is a fact about them.
But I wonder though, and again, I'm such a nerd about mushrooms, like the trippy ones, the edible ones, the non-edible ones. I find mushrooms so fascinating. Watch this documentary if you've got Netflix.
And I got a question in here for you about that.
But what I find fascinating about this is, like, to a certain degree, I can understand mushrooms being the thing of immortality because, like, they break down matter and reproduce matter. Yeah. So, like, it makes perfect sense to me that a mushroom would be like an immortal thing because it keeps matter moving. So,
true. All right. Here's the next one.
I'm such a nerd.
Scientist Jae Rim Lee from Korea developed a suit embroidered with mushroom spores. The reason for that, it was used for stress reduction, smart fashion, or burial.
Burial. Oh, smart fashion. Smart fashion.
Smart fashion.
Smart
You go
fashion.
with smart fashion. You
Smart
change
fashion.
your answer.
Yep, smart fashion.
I'm going to let Fozzie and Misty get their answer in. It's a really interesting. Misty says C, burial. Fozzie says B, smart fashion, and it is C, burial.
Oh, fuck, I hate when I'm right and then I choose.
Decompose the body.
But here's why I said
Which is weird because here's a true fact about dead bodies. They already decompose.
But I think maybe the mushroom spores like helps it become more useful.
Part of the mushroom world.
But I am gonna say this. I work in the domain of promotional products and stuff like that when I'm not making cocktails, getting drunk on the internet, and making food. Mm-hmm. They are making so much stuff with mushroom now, like mushroom fake leather, all sorts, because it's so plentiful on the planet and it doesn't destroy the environment. So the reason I said smart fashion was because I know that there's fabric now being made from mushrooms.
One of the ones I was reading about was a mushroom that they used to dye things, but the fascinating thing with this mushroom is it can almost become any color. Mm-hmm. So it's a
mushrooms
weird
are fucking cool, guys.
All right, second one. There is a mushroom in Hawaii, and it has been known to cause A, instant death in women, B, instant pain relief in women, or C, instant orgasms in women.
Again, it's one of those things where I could believe all three of them. I'm going to go hopeful. Mm-hmm. I'm going from a hopeful.
You got to be really picky because that's what you're hopeful about.
I'm hoping for C.
C. You're hoping for C.
I'm hoping for C.
You're hoping for C.
I think it might be B, but I'm hoping for C. A.
Ruby Rose says A. It is C. It is instant orgasms. There has been a whole test on this thing, and there's a specific mushroom that when women smell it, they immediately orgasm.
When are we going to Hawaii?
And what's funny is when men smell it, it smells terrible.
Really?
Yep.
Are you being
true.
funny?
It's actually true. When men smell it, it's terrible smelling.
That's wild. I want to know more about this.
Yeah.
Do you know what the name of this is?
I do. I have it somewhere.
Yeah, we'll put it on our something somewhere.
We'll have it put it on our mushroom.
Well, I was going to say
we'll write it on a mushroom and we'll throw it at your house. Next question. The death cap mushroom, which is the most deadly mushroom, poisonous mushroom in the world. If you basically say, if you partake in this mushroom, give up. You're dead. It is the most poisonous mushroom. What of these is not a symptom that you've eaten it. 1, intense thirst. 2, blood from your eyes. Or C, violent bloody diarrhea.
I'm going to say intense thirst is not a symptom.
Not a symptom, is intense thirst.
Yeah.
Ruby Rose wants some. I'm hoping that was before the death cap.
She wants the orgasm mushroom. Okay, but you're in Barbados, so I'm going to hope that you have...
Fozzie says B. You say A.
I say A.
Misty says C. You can get this from other mushrooms. Is not an answer. The answer is
Blood
B.
from the
Blood.
eyes.
It
Way to
doesn't
go,
get-
Fozzie Osborne.
It is basically what it does is it almost forces your body to reject all of the liquid.
Which would then make sense that you would have intense thirst if you're bleeding violently
Yeah,
from your asshole.
Exactly. So that's
That's a thing.
so
that
if
makes
that's
sense.
happening, check the mushrooms you've eaten. The next one. There is a folklore character that is theorized to originate from mushrooms. This, not that somebody took the mushrooms and then went, oh, imagine it. It's basically, they thought that the look of this mushroom was what imparted on the character.
Okay.
It is Santa Claus, Paul Bunyan, or the Baba Yaga.
Oh.
Do you know who all these are?
Yes, of course I know who all these are. I'm
Sure.
still going to say the Baba Yaga, though.
You say the Baba Yaga? The
Yeah.
Baba Yaga is... Okay. Baba Yaga is a house that's sort of a chicken.
I'm going to say Baba Yaga.
C from Fozzie. Misty. We'll give you a second. This is a good one. I didn't know
Also,
this.
we could call you guys out by name, too, if you decided to participate in the game.
Yeah.
Just
Ruby Rose has been in here, too.
I know. Ruby
you've
Rose.
all went for Baba Yaga. The answer is actually Santa Claus.
Fuck off.
There is, you know, on Mario, the mushrooms with the red, with the yellow, the white dots. That hat is what was considered to be the elf's hat that Santa Claus was based on. So that it is the mushroom was the creation of Santa Claus. It's a white-faced or white-bearded character with this red hat.
Okay, fine. I mean, you have the answers.
Yeah, it's an interesting.
What's a Santa Claus?
All right, the next one.
Sonata, nice to know you're here.
The cordyceps mushroom turns off this in its host. It is a parasitic mushroom-based spore that attacks certain animals, and it turns this off in the host in order to survive. Does it turn off its growth function? Does it turn off the pain receptors? Or does it turn off the self-preservation instinct?
I'm going to go with pain receptors.
Pain receptors?
I'm going to go with pain receptors. Again,
receptors.
these are all shots in the dark here.
A from Ozzy, he says growth function.
For all we know
Ozzy,
about
I'm
Ozzy-
sorry, I'm using him. I'm assuming you're a him.
That's wrong.
If you're a woman or
neither.
differently gendered, please let me know.
Whoever you are, thanks for tuning in. Didn't mean to.
Misty says B, pain receptors. The actual answer is it turns off the self-preservation instinct.
So, like, it makes you fucking depressed and you don't want to.
No, it's basically it attacks insects. It turns off their instinct to not go towards bright lights.
Oh, okay.
And then once it fries in fires and bright lights,
Then the mushroom absorbs
the mushroom
it.
absorbs it.
Okay. Honestly, I've said it 6 times. Watch this documentary. It's so
They're
fascinating.
creepy. It's creepy.
Mushrooms are incredible.
All right. Is this the last one?
We're all worried about the
Oh,
robots.
no, it's not. This one I found absolutely found. What do mushrooms breathe? They are a plant.
Mm-hmm.
What do they breathe? They breathe either CO2, nitrogen, or oxygen.
I don't know. My instinct is to say nitrogen because of decomposition, but then I want to say CO2 because of science. I'm going to say CO2 and
CO2?
I know that I might be wrong.
With the plants?
No, nitrogen. I'm going with nitrogen.
Nitrogen. Okay, you're going with nitrogen.
I'm going with nitrogen.
Mystery saying C. My name is Mike Myers. My mom was a horror freak.
Oh, hi, Mike Myers.
my golly.
But not a Canadian.
Not Canadian Mike.
Canadian Mike Myers.
That's the difference. Everlasting life and wisdom beyond anything will never be. Ozzy says, hey, here's a weird thing. This I did not know. Mushrooms breathe oxygen and give off CO2. Like us.
Like a human.
Like people.
Like Hunan.
That's wild to me. absolutely wild.
Nice look.
Lynn said A as well. It's a weird thing to think that they would just act like, but they don't. They give off CO2 and absorb oxygen.
If you happen to be here for the first time and you've never tuned in, here's the deal.
Helium.
You get drunk with us. We teach you how to make good food. And look, science question. Who the fuck knew? It's wild.
All right, last one.
Yes.
Okay, this is where we are.
Yes.
Mushrooms are just the tip. They are part of the mycelium. So the mushroom that you see is 5% of the mycelium. Okay? How much of the earth beneath our feet is mycelium? I'm going to give you 4 options here.
Okay.
How much of the earth beneath our feet is mycelium? Is it 15%? Is it 30%? Is it 50%,
80%.
55%, or is it 80%?
I'm going to say 80%.
You're going to say 80%?
That's what she said.
Okay, no, I don't have that button here.
That's why I had to do it.
Let everybody vote. What do you think is the percentage of mycelium underneath our feet? That means how much of our earth that we're walking around on is just basically
Mushroom internet. Like literally the
C
internet
from
of
Fozzie. C from Misty.
I'm saying D.
You're saying D.
I'm going with D.
B from Ruby. The answer is D. 80% of the earth
Mushrooms
beneath
are
us
fucking
is
cool.
mycelium. It's crazy.
It's the way, part of the reason why I watched this documentary, and I've been trying to get Danny to watch it for forever. I think it was like advertised to me on YouTube, and they were talking about this, about how like above ground we have the internet, but below ground there's mycelium, and it's like this incredible internet that goes throughout basically
we have
all
internet below ground.
Okay, so nature's internet versus man's internet or whatever, but the fact that like there's this massive network under the earth of like it's so fascinating. I can't do it justice right now. Watch the documentary, please.
It'll just make you say, if you watch this, oh Mycology. That has been Oh Mycology.
That was a good game.
That was a fun game. It's to me, that was a fascinating game, and every now and then it was one of those things. I was trying to find a way to make this interesting, and I realized mushrooms are just so fascinating as it stands. Who cares? And the one runs fungi the way you wouldn't expect.
But do you say fungi or fun guy? Because I think it's just funny to say fun guy either way. But
let's quickly move on, because if we're gonna move on to the next thing, I got some stuff I want to get.
Yeah,
on.
and you have to make a cocktail.
I know. So let's listen to some music.
Okay.
Because
what fun guy did you get?
I didn't.
Oh.
I got a fun girl.
Oh, you got a fun gal?
And I thought, we live in northern Quebec. Or not northern, but northerly Quebec. And we don't have a ton of French on the show. So let's have a little French in our music.
Oh, j'aime bien.
So I thought there's nobody better than the amazing Shy Schullie.
Oh, ben j'adore.
She is wonderful. She is gorgeous. She is amazingly talented. And
Elle était sur La Voix pour nos amis québécois.
Yeah, oui.
She was on La Voix, which is the Québécois version of This Is the Voice.
This is the voice.
No, the voice.
Oh, that's the theme song? Never heard it. So this is Shy Schullie singing Chantez-là.
Shy Schullie.
Down in Louisiana, land of Creole stews, patois, Mardi Gras, and romantic blues. Once I heard a lover when work was over, strung a Creole croon to his lovey-dovey underneath the Dixie moon. I heard him say just so, Chantez-là. That means in Creole, sing 'em low. I like the pretty word Chantez-là. She likes her blues played sweetly and slow. Oh, Chantez-là. I can't forget that serenade. And if you listen to me just a while, I'll try to sing for you just what he said. Oh, Chantez-là. That means in Creole, sing low. I like the pretty word Chantez-là. She likes her blues played sweetly and slow. Chantez-là. I can't forget that serenade. And if you listen to me just a while, I'll come to get you and take you away. Far, far away.
Oh,
Incredible Shy Schullie. Oh,
she's so good. She's
Kelly
coming up to visit too.
she is coming up to visit. She's going to sing to me while I go to sleep.
That's
Just letting you know.
lovely.
She doesn't know yet. She's going to sing me lullabies.
That is great. We are going to now make something I'm very, very excited for because I haven't had this assembled cocktail yet. But it is a fantastic, fantastic cocktail. This is called the Atlas Shrubbed. If you want to bring up the recipe
I'm
here.
on it right now.
Now, two of the key ingredients we had to make in here. One is our chanterelle infused gin. Now, this was I did a little bit differently than we did the bourbon.
Okay.
With the bourbon, I just put dried mushrooms in it and let it sit.
Okay.
This one I did a little bit differently. I took the dried chanterelle, same thing, put them in the gin, let it sit for 24 hours.
Okay.
Then I took the chanterelles out.
Mm-hmm.
I sauteed them with some parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme because of Paul Simon.
Paul Simon.
And a little bit of rosemary.
Okay.
Added some aromatics, brought some flavor to that. Put the chanterelles back in.
Wow, okay.
And let them sit for about 3 days. So this is actually beefeater gin. So
Okay.
completely clear gin. Now is this color, this beautiful yellowy
Oh, look, we
chanterelle
almost
color.
matched.
Yeah.
I did it I did it on purpose.
Now, that's only part of the amazing things that we had to do to make this.
What else did you make, Danny D?
Now, you know how much I love a good shrub.
Just for in case people are tuning in for the first time and they don't know what a shrub
A
is.
shrub is a drinkable vinegar.
Okay.
Often with a cocktail, one of the things you're looking for is sweet and sour in cocktails. So a lot of times you'll do that with a syrup, a sugar syrup. Simple syrup is a good example. And sour will often come from citrus, lemons, limes, things like this. Another way to get that is with a shrub, which actually combines syrup and sour all at the same time. And what it does, we in this case, we're making a blueberry mushroom or blueberry shiitake syrup.
Okay.
So I took a cup of blueberries, 2 cups of fresh shiitakes, and I muddled them all together. So smushed them up, so broke the blueberries so that the juice is out a little bit. Poured over that a cup of sugar. And let it sit for 24 hours.
That macerates it, right?
Macerates it. So about 36 hours. So what that did is it pulled every bit of liquid out of the mushrooms and out of the blueberries.
Okay.
So you get this perfect, beautiful syrup. I then took that syrup and added equal parts apple cider vinegar.
Okay.
And then let that sit for a couple of days. And this is called a shrub.
Now, do you always use apple cider vinegar for shrubs? Or
No, you can use
white, or
you can use any. The apple cider vinegar is a natural drinkable vinegar.
Okay.
If you're using white vinegar, you're probably going to use less because it's much sharper. Balsamic works.
system.
Yeah, balsamic will work very well. Malt will work very well. You can use any kind of vinegar, but anything like a mixed vinegar, apple cider vinegar, champagne vinegar, red wine vinegar, all of those,
Because it
you
cuts
can just
the vinegar part,
yeah,
right?
you can use them one for one. If you're using a straight white vinegar, reduce or mix it with something.
Gotcha. Cool.
So there we have.
I'm so excited for this.
So this has chanterelle infused gin.
I'm going to bring the recipe up one more time.
Shiitake and blueberry shrub, and of course, to sweeten it out, we're going to use a little Pinot de Charente,
Okay.
which is what I compare it to. I would compare it to like a sweet vermouth.
Okay.
It's a sweet white.
Is it from France?
It is from France. What is the one we use a lot? Lillet, sort of like a Lillet.
Lillet, okay.
That kind of a thing. And of course, the last thing we're going to put is some Angostura bitters. If we had the actual recipe asks for tobacco bitters, I don't have tobacco bitters, so we're going to use Angostura.
We'll put it on the wish list.
So into this, we are going to do 1 ounce and 3/4
While you do that, I'm just going to check the
of
Galette.
our chanterelle infused gin. And we're doing 2 of them, so.
I said I wasn't basting, but I'm going to baste it.
Yeah, you do base a little bit. Into that, we're also going to put now 1/4 ounce of our Pinot de Charente. Oh, sorry, I was going to keep that open so I can see what I'm doing here. Boop, boop,
Sorry,
boop, boop,
I'm coming
boop.
right
It's okay,
back.
no, I got it. Don't
I
worry
just
about it.
have to brush it with...
So into this, we're going to put 1/4 ounce of our Pinot. This gives it a little sweetness, but it's a little sort of, because this is a sort of a cognac. So it's distilled from wine or fortified wine. It's sweet, but it's sort of rich, deep wine flavor. We're now going to add to this 1/2 ounce of our shiitake and blueberry shrub.
I'm so excited for this.
And finally, 2 dashes per drink of our Angostura bitters. That's all there we have there.
Danny, if someone was starting a bar, the Angostura is kind of like...
Angostura is your go-to bitter.
The go-to bitter.
Yeah. Again, because this is also a mixed drink, so we're going to put a lot of ice in here. We want to cool it down quickly. And we're also going to add a few cubes to our footed cocktail glass.
Marie-Eve, I'm going to ask him in a minute.
Stir. Again, a good 20 to 30 seconds. That's what we're trying to do in here. And there we go. And we're going to take that. I think I prefer a shorter footed glass, but we're going to go.
Maria Boucher says, I'd love to see a Danny D version of a Vesper. I think he did do a Danny D Vesper.
I did. Well, I did the dirty martini. Or no, I did the burnt. I did the burnt martini. I didn't do a Vesper. I did the burnt. I'm not a big fan of the Vesper. I like a burnt martini.
Okay, so Marie-Eve, I want you to answer that. Why Vesper versus burnt martini?
Anyways, let me finish this drink.
Yep.
Okay. Now, on the recipe here, you will see that I say to garnish with some fresh rosemary. I couldn't find fresh, we didn't have fresh rosemary. Luckily, I have these beautiful chanterelles that were sitting. So I'm going to garnish with a little bit of fresh, our gin-soaked chanterelle.
I'm just going to go overhead so people can see the overhead view of that.
There.
Look at that.
Go ahead.
Alien mushrooms.
There we are.
All right, back to the main.
As you know, chanterelles are quite yellow, so these are quite brown now. And that is...
I'm so excited for this.
What is called... This is the Atlas Shrubbed.
Okay, hold on.
I'm going to sniff. Oh, that smells incredible.
Oh my God.
Oh my...
Wow.
That is the best cocktail I've ever had in my life.
Hands down, best cocktail I've ever had in my life. The flavors in that, there is in one sip, I can taste sweet, I can taste sour, I can taste salt, I can taste a little bitter from the gin, I can taste the umami. It's like it's in
It's like a meal
sense-
in a glass without being obnoxious. You know what I mean?
But it's the insane combinations of flavors in one drink.
What I also find exceptional about this,
Without it, I'm sorry, just let me finish.
yeah,
Unlike, and I loved the Mushroom Manhattan,
Yeah.
there was a distinct mushroomy quality to it.
No,
this doesn't have that, even though there's technically more mushroom elements in it.
you might not have missed a show. We might be making it up. You never know.
What happened?
Mary
I did
says-
do a martini. I did the burnt martini on our Las Vegas show.
It was a while ago. You're
That's
fine.
like our-
You got stuff going
It's like
on.
our 5th show.
Yeah, exactly. It was
Fourth or
like
fifth show.
our 5th show. So just, you might not have been a fan then. What I find amazing about this is I tasted this shrub earlier.
The shrub is incredible.
The shrub I would put on a salad as a salad dressing or as the base of a salad dressing. I'm not going to drink it from the bottle, but I just want to
Here.
give it a little. No, I can just do it on
Or you could use this too.
Or I could just spill it all over the counter.
No. It's the sour, the umami, and the sweet that is.
The other thing I'm going to say, especially with the pandemic and the fact that, like, you know, with lack of seasonal workers and this and that, like, I don't know if anyone else has noticed that A, grocery prices have gone up, and B, grocery stock has gone down. There's tons of stuff I can't find right now. What I love about this is maybe 6 weeks ago, the little market around the corner from us closed, maybe now 2 months, around Labor Day weekend. There was always local farmers with chanterelles, and there were always local farmers with blueberries, because that's the area of the world that we live in, at least. Blueberry cultivation and mushroom cultivation is huge here. So this is the kind of stuff that if you were going to do like farm to table style dinner at your house or anything like that, that really wanted to focus on local products, if you happen to live in Quebec, chanterelles and blueberries are perfect parts of what we consider like cuisine de terroir, and like this becomes a very local drink.
I've never had a drink that tastes quite like this, and I think it is that concept of adding the umami into these things, which I would say is close to a traditional sour. Yeah. When you figure that if this wasn't a chanterelle infused gin, it would be a gin sour in all fairness. But it is what I like about chanterelles. Chanterelles are not unlike the shiitakes, which are quite robust and hearty, and they have a distinct flavor. Chanterelles are much more subtle.
Well, they're delicate. They're more delicate.
And it represents in this drink. This is the best cocktail I've ever had.
Hands down, for real. Like
hands down, for
there's
real.
People on the
and it's only
internet
there's two things about that are true. First of all, I love mushrooms.
Yep.
Secondly, I'm an incredible drink maker.
You are no, but it's true. No, I got to give you props.
Well, thank
you. You are you've done stuff with cocktails in the last, I'd say, 18 months or 50 plus episodes that we've been on, that like I never knew that you could make a booze with mushrooms. This is incredible. This cocktail is spectacular. And what I would say personally is like, maybe, and this is not a criticism, we might be a little bit late in the season for this, because this to me is a September cocktail. When blueberries are still available locally.
Here's the only thing that's different with what you're saying. I wouldn't use fresh chanterelles in this.
That's fair. Fair.
You can still buy fresh chanterelles and dry them yourself.
Yep. But
to get any type, because chanterelles are so delicate, take any type of the richness out of them.
You want the dried ones.
And what I like about this is I'm using Beefeater gin. This is Beefeater is a lovely gin. It's actually for the price, it's an incredibly good gin.
Beefeater's the London gin, yeah?
Yes. It's a London dry, but it's with the little guy in the little Beefeater outfit. So you can pretty much find it anywhere. It's one of the most popular gins in the world. It's not an incredibly fancy gin.
But it's not also super infused.
Adding that, I also say adding this, which I've never been familiar with the Pinot de Charente.
Just try it on a bar spoon.
It's why don't you just do it in there?
Oh, I could just try it in here. But I think also, and this is why I asked the question to come full circle on. Maybe I asked the wrong question before, because the question I asked before was, should you be using premium liquor to do infusions? Okay. And maybe the correct question was, do you want a blank slate liquor, like something like Beefeater, is not hyper botanical.
Mm-hmm.
We have friends that make gin. Shout out to Le Pirate du Nord. That's very botanical, and it's got a lot of its own.
And I think the Chanterelle would work really well with the Pirate du Nord. And it's funny because even the bourbon we did with
that's Lillet but heavier.
A little heavier let, but it's the bourbon we did with the shiitakes. Now that I've had it with the Jim Beam, I go, oh, but if I put it with the Woodford Reserve, which is a little bit brighter tones, but it's got a deep aftertaste, a woody aftertaste, you would get, it might be even more complimentary. So it's the kind of thing, I always say, if you're going to start trying infusion, go buy a cheap thing, try it out. That'll give you ideas of what the flavors are like, and then you can go, oh, I really like this. It'll probably work really well with that.
All right, we're almost at
We're at 7 o'clock, holy moly.
But wait, here it comes.
It's coming, we got it.
Are you ready at home? I want to know.
Are you
in the
ready?
comments.
Shall I bring it? Shall I bring
No,
the...
I want to know if they're ready in the comments first, because if there's no anticipation,
Oh, there's 10 people
I'm
here.
just gonna let it burn if there's no.
No,
comments.
you will
I'm
not, because I
kidding.
need to eat this
I
thing.
am joking.
It's coming. Misty
we
says,
go.
oh, hell yeah. Here we go. Fly cam is coming in place. Look at this. Miss Galette.
Oh my goodness. Oh.
Boom. Here we go. Overhead. Look
Holy
at that.
Jesus.
Oh, oh. God, it smells so good.
Here's actually what I'm gonna do. Is
I wish you could smell this. It's so...
If you could just lift the parchment, I'm gonna
Yep.
take the hot pan out from underneath.
Go for it.
Very quickly. There we go. Put that back in the oven for a second.
Oh.
Wow.
So good. This is incredible. Add this to it. This is a beautiful mushroomy. I'm so excited about this.
Oh my god. Okay, pass me a knife.
Knife. Are you gonna let this sit for a couple minutes? Because you know what we can do while that's sitting? Let's talk about what's next week.
We could also do question 2 because we haven't asked
We
them
have
our
question 2. Okay, well, let's do question 2.
Oh my
Quickly.
goodness.
Quickly, we'll do question 2.
Misty, I might make this as part of next week's food delivery, so.
Here we go. Question number 2 this week is, what are mushrooms best and or worst in? Some people don't like mushrooms. I understand the concept that it's a very different texture than certain things. Like, there's a very unique texture to mushrooms. That if you're not, what do you like? What are mushrooms best in? I will say, first of all, mushroom, if you have a pizza without mushrooms, you're a crazy person. I think mushrooms are best in pizza, but then again, pizza is probably one of my favorite foods in the world.
I'm going to say mushrooms are best in cooked and worst in raw. I don't like raw.
I don't like raw mushrooms. I'll give you that.
like raw
I don't
mushrooms
like
at
a
all.
mushroom in a
salad, like crudité plant?
No.
Yeah. Or raw mushrooms like on top of a salad. I'm like, you can keep that. Like that's got no flavor.
Yeah.
It's got no nothing. It's not nice. It tastes like dirt. So my answer is mushrooms are best cooked, worst raw.
Marie-Eve Boucher says, I shiver with patio B.
I think she meant
I know what she meant, but she said patio B.
It's the new Rocky Horror.
Patio B is that was my section when I was serving.
Extra mushrooms on pizza, yuck. Yeah, if they're raw for sure, but like when I make homemade pizza, I at least give them a little saute.
Mushrooms on top of steak.
Best in eggs, worst in crudité, but again, like I'm gonna stand by best cooked, worst raw. They're not a great raw vegetable.
No, they're not a great raw vegetable.
Some people really like them, but like
they need the Maillard reaction in order to be proper.
They just also they're such a sponge, which is why you don't clean them the way you clean other vegetables. Like if you want to properly clean a mushroom, you get a kitchen towel, a little bit dab, and clean it. They sponge up everything. They're like eggplants like that. So any vegetable in my mind that sponges so much stuff needs to be cooked because it's begging for flavor. Yeah. It's kind of like, hey, fix me. And then you go like garlic, white wine, butter, stuff. And it makes it look how fucking delicious.
That's gorgeous. Cut that now so we can eat it. I will get us plates.
Did you made your second cocktail? We did our music.
But we still have to talk about next week because next week is going to be awesome.
Okay, hold on. Oh, hold on. I'm going over for 1 second.
Go for it.
because I think you deserve to see the heat escaping from this. The liquid, look at that. Like
juiciness of it.
Even though we drain the mushrooms.
But the crust is still firm.
Oh, look at that.
Important to note
Friends,
that the crust is
every
still
once
firm.
in a while I
got a
get
little-
very proud of myself for things I make on the show. It doesn't happen often. This is one of those things that I'm kind of like, damn, look at that. If you know where we live and you feel like making a minimum 2-hour drive, come on down. You're the next contestant on Eat Some Mushrooms.
Unless you're in the neighborhood, then.
Unless you happen to be in the neighborhood, but I don't think anybody.
Oh.
Oh, it's hot. That was delicious but hot sound.
Oh my God. Oh.
I'll tell you what I would have done differently.
No. Not right.
Why? Give me 1 second. I made a comment earlier tonight that the mushrooms had no garlic in them. I would have sauteed them a little bit differently if you want to bring the flavor out a
They
bit.
don't need it. They
I would
really
have put
don't.
a tiny bit of garlic, a tiny bit extra wine.
There is such a distinct, and again, I come back to that concept. There's such a distinct umami in mushrooms as it is that when you start to, I don't get me wrong, I don't think that garlic and mushrooms don't go together, but this doesn't need it. It's got that flavor that garlic tends to bring without needing garlic.
But also,
It makes it, I think it would just be this same thing, but slightly garlickier.
some people like I'm gonna say store-bought mushrooms, and I'm not being a snob by that. What I mean is like white mushrooms or cremini mushrooms, coffee mushrooms.
What is it?
I can understand that sometimes when people buy
Crust is
dried
great, too.
mushrooms, it's too it's like too earthy. So I would say if you feel your dried
Fresh
mushrooms are
mushrooms
too
would be
earthy,
a very different texture and flavor.
fuck, this is good.
So good.
All right, next week.
Next week,
Next week, I'm so excited for because we haven't done a TV show or a movie episode in a while.
lay it on the people.
Next week,
What is
it's
it?
Quarantino. It's our Tarantino in quarantine show.
Yeah.
I put cheese all over the top, and then when I rolled it, there is cheese that has ended up
Yeah.
in the crust.
But it's also
I didn't-
been, but you egg wash it.
No, I egg washed it.
So next week is food and drinks
From Tarantino movies.
Inspired by Tarantino,
It's gonna be great,
but Quarantino, because we're fun like that.
And I think we need to make a video. A Tarantino inspired.
So next week is the Quarantino show.
This is incredible.
This is really good.
Try this cocktail.
Guys,
This cocktail.
make the cocktails, make this.
Yeah.
And again, if you happen to live alone or like you're a couple and you're like, we're never going to eat all of that. Tomorrow morning, I promise you, Danny D and I are going to poach
Yeah,
some eggs.
this is a great-
Cut this in half and put poached eggs on
Reheats
top.
so
it's,
well.
it's breakfast. Or with a small arugula or rocket salad on the side. Delicious. This is so good.
It's a good
And
idea,
if I
Misty.
can make this, you can fully make this.
There we are.
I look like a magical fairy, but I'm not.
I'm the Divine Danny D.
I'm Elle Diabloe, your regular person making really good food.
And we'll see you with Quarantino next week. And there's some beautiful footage at the end of the show.
Don't click away.
Don't click away.
You're gonna miss a thing.
You're going to miss it.
Thank you for joining us. We love you.
bye.
Thank you.